Yo YouTube, it's finally there at the semi-finals in the LLL Pool A this time. Of course, we're starting from the top. That's insane to say. It has been a while since we posted, just some scheduling issues that prevented us from moving forward. So I think there was a bye week or something, but let me refresh your memories. It's SBAP versus Random versus Flying Volt. Those games are going to be played today. Those are the semifinals, and the winners of those matches are going to face off in the finale. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I gotta say beforehand. And let me start off with, you already know, the anticlimactic, anticlimactic everything. It's SBAP versus Random Hero. Scheduling wise was a mess. Eventually it all came down to Random Hero. He was kind of burned out from League. He was very busy, etc., etc. So SBAP reaches the finale of the LLL. Playoffs not. He hasn't had to play a single playoffs game. 2 forfeit wins. It's super rare that something like this happens, but it does happen, and it doesn't take away anything from SBAP because he's a beautiful player. But he reaches the finale that way. Kind of wild, but that's a finale spot for SBAP. And as for Random Hero, dude, you had a terrific season. I know there's a terrific player in you, and I know you had a rough time in another league. For those who don't know, he didn't make a league solely because of differential, and that was kind of tough on him. But I know there's a very competent player in him, and that's nothing to scoff at. So next season, I want to see you back in action, back in glory, and I want to see those playoff games of yours. Let me show it. But for now, SBAP reaches the finale, and that's it. But that doesn't mean there isn't a single match today. Nuh-uh, there is a match to be played, and it is Volt Ninja coming in action versus 2x Flying. Yeah, that's the one finale worthy team right there, and I'm pooping on screen. Boop. It's on screen now. You love to see the Curum White versus Reshiram thingy. Who's the superior white dragon, of course. But let me just dive into those teams real quick. First thing I notice is how excellent King Gambit is. King Gambit has a fantastic matchup versus Volt Ninja. If it weren't for that Reshiram, of course. Reshiram is a kinda nasty looking mon. Reshiram doesn't seem to have very much to switch into it. Potentially thick fat Hariyama is there. Potentially it's Tatsugiri with a Haban Berry. But just in general, it's a super hard hitting mon. And that's something that I wonder if 2x Flying can actually stop. We've seen it time and time again, like last week with the Rest Sleep Talk set. Reshiram is just one devastating mon when it comes to coverage in general. But it shouldn't take away the shine from the big dog, aka Zacian. Zacian as well has an amazing matchup this match. King Gambit, of course, it has good matchup, but it's a dark type that does not resist the play rough. Zacian can play rough freely pretty much because all of the resist that they have, and that's Gengar and Tinkaton. Do they really want to take a play rough? I mean Tinkaton can take a head, sure, but a Fire Fang, whatever, or just chip damage overall could be devastating for it. So Volt Ninja is looking very scary with those big dogs in his range. We see something like a Greninja or an Electrode Hisui bring in the momentum, bring in those mons to kind of devastate 2x Flying's team. So that makes a very compelling case for Volt Ninja. But 2x Flying is not out of the runners just yet, because there's a Curum White there that has proven time and time again is very difficult to switch into. It just deals so much damage for that Dragon Ice combination. Who wants to switch into a Ice Beam comfortably? I mean, I see Greninja as a Ice Resist. Nah, I don't call it an Ice Resist. So it has to come down to that Bronzong, and Bronzong over time can be chipped down with a Fusion Flare here or there. So it can be very devastating. Something like an Electrode Hisui with a Terra Fairy type could really chip it down, but I feel like the response that Volt has are offensive, not defensively. So it can be a very devastating one to deal with. Look at Spike's damage overall versus Volt Ninja. I feel like he has to rely on a lot of boot users because of the lack of really great defog or rapid spin utility. You don't want to force that Giratina into defogs because it can bring in King Gambit with a Defiant and kowtow something pretty much freely because nothing really wants to take that kowtow. So I feel like 2 times flying's way to win is to bring in the Kyurem White, click the nuke button when necessary, potentially get up spikes with Orgulbon, chip it down that way, and hope that Tinkaton can take a crucial hit here and there. But overall, I feel like Volt has the matchup in the face-off. And that's, first of all, the speed tiering. Zacian with 138 speed is way faster than the entire draft of 2 times flying. Same goes for Greninja, same goes for Electro Hisui. Has a very fast paced team, and for something that has to rely on the momentum, the switch in for the Kyurem White, getting out momentumed with that speed tiering is something that can easily happen. So I feel like Volt really has the upper hand here. But with that being said, I want to dive into the battle, and I hope you guys enjoy this one game that I have for you today. But yeah, looking at the matchup firsthand, I want to kind of look at it even further. We see the regular ones that we thought we were going to see. It's the Zacian, it's a Reshiram. We have the momentum grabbers in Greninja and in Electro Hisui. We have that necessary Bronzong and the Defog, so I'm right on the head with this. We also see the Gengar and the Tinkaton, kind of the resists. We also see a Ogerpon, which of course, now thinking about it, that's very resist as well. But it has spikes as well. It's a Kyurem White that's a devastating mon. No Haruyama though, I feel like Scyther is a good bring as well. So looking at this, it's pretty much as we expected. But with that out of the way, let's dive into the battle itself. And we see that Bronzong starting off, probably want to go for rocks right here. And that's of course what happens, but not without getting a para on it. Rocks are being exchanged, and now it's the momentum for Volt Ninja that is up right now. That's a sub being broken by Tinkaton. Tinkaton is not known for the amazing offense that it has, but it can break down in sub here and there. Leech Seed coming out once again, proving last week how devastating it can be, the sub Leech variant. And it's something that can chip down the Tinkaton. It looks kind of silly, but know that how much damage you do on Tinkaton pretty much dictates how much damage Zacian is going to do for the rest of the battle, because at this point, Ogerpon is the only thing that can switch into a Zacian, and that thing does not have boots, so it's kind of annoying. Giratina on its behalf being chipped down, whittled. Paras being thrown left and right here. 3 months paralyzed that are in the battle right now, so that's kind of insane. Might we see a para hikes here and there, and we don't. Giratina kind of just going for repeated T-waves. My question is, does this Giratina have rest or something to recover up? No, it does have Hex, reveals the Hex, taking down the Tinkaton, and I feel like Zacian is just getting stronger and stronger in the back. Kowtow is eventually not strong enough to take out the Giratina, but with the para, yeah, it came into play, so it's kind of funny. Otherwise, I think King Gambit would have gotten paralyzed, which is funny as hell, everything being paralyzed. But Gengar now showing his face as the switch in for Zacian, but that's an easy predict, going for the crunch. And at this point, bam, damn, it does feel kind of difficult for 2 times flying right here. Close combat coming out, taking out the Zacian taking out the King Gambit. And now is the question, what can actually take the Zacian out? Is this a Scarf Kyurem, for example? It is, but it's not strong enough. Not strong enough to take down a Zacian. I feel like at this point, I know it's turn 16 or turn 15, but I feel like the match is already over. Zacian has proven its worth. Going down right here, the big popper. Oh, what an impact it has. And we know how powerful Zacian is. That's the reason why Zacian is going to get banned next season. But what a devastating match for Zacian right here. It just shows its offensive prowess to the fullest. And now Greninja is able to finish up this match. And it's a 4-0, and it's a 4-0 that, how much I want to say that it was kind of difficult. It wasn't really. It was just waiting for the moment where Zacian could strike, and with Tinkaton being pressured really early on, it's easy to see why Volt Ninja is coming out on top. Yeah, it shows, first of all, how good of a mon Zacian is. It shows how good of a game plan Volt has. It's just chipping down mons until Zacian can come in. And 2 times flying, I saw what you were going for, but unfortunately it did not work the way you wanted it, and it's mainly due to not having a Zacian resist. So luckily for you, there's no Zacian next season, but this does mean that the one semi-final that is being played, is now over, and it reveals the finale. It is Asbab, the first seed of the entire thingamajigger, that has not played a single playoffs match thus far, so it's kind of funny, versus Volt Ninja, which is the 3rd seed of this entire thingamajigger, with 2 convincing wins, 1 versus Leo and 1 versus 2 times flying. Is going to be one hell of a face-off, and I hope that this video is going up next week. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Oh yeah, and real quick, Mon of the Week is of course the Zacian, because Zacian did it did everything. So yeah, Zacian. Yeah. Woo!